What's up, everybody? Arrg the Pirate here, and today we're going to take another look at Wraith. As always, let's start with his deck. Pick up Archmagnus, 2 health potions, a Mender Vial, a Shepherd's Vial, and 2 healer tokens. Now let's get into the meat of this deck. Start out with a Sage's Ward with 1 point in health, follow that up with a Windcarver's Blade with 1 point in attack speed, and then an Adamant Edge with 1 point in health. Then I try to go for either a Stinger Boost or my Teleblink, whichever one. Stinger Boost has a lot of attack speed on it, ending up being a 10-point card. But you do want to get Teleblink online quickly since you don't have a great escape. Follow this up with a 10-point Whirling Wand, a 12-point Whirling Wand, and a 12-point Windcarver's Blade. Lastly, you'll upgrade your Sage's Ward to get your total 60 points. Now, I have not spent just a great amount of time with Wraith. I've played a lot of games with him on my team, and I've played a lot of games mid lane against him, and I've really noticed he's just not the best hero. I don't really have an issue with him, but he just doesn't offer quite enough for someone that isn't typically in a 5-man group. And I have seen just amazing plays. I've actually made a couple of these amazing plays, but for the most part, I feel you would be better off with a mid lane hero, either a zoner or an assassin like Countess or Morgesh. Now, this deck that I've built is heavy on just power and attack speed. I don't have a whole lot of other utilities other than Stinger Boost and Teleblink. But for the most part, I'm just really focused on dealing damage. Now, I have not quite got used to his flight path on his R1 ability, and I do miss shots here and there. So you need to be aware that this attack is not, hey, you put it on their head, you're going to hit their head. It does have a flight path just like a lot of other, or pretty much every other attack except for maybe Gideon's ult, which I think that's really what's throwing me off, because, you know, the scope in looks so much similar to that. It's kind of throwing me off because, you know, hey, you're targeted on it, it's got this short little delay, but you're going to hit exactly where you're aiming, not, you know, that kind of flight path delay. Now, one of my favorite things about Wraith is he's able to get that creep score and get those last hits very easy. Now, I just back to the tower and Crunch is ready to go in for this gank on Bellica, and we get this very easy hit. And if you see here, I would have got this kill, but I missed my sniper shot because instead of putting it where she's going to be, I of course put it where she is. And that's just something very simple that, you know, hey, more practice makes you better at it. And, you know, coming from that sniper scope in, it's very easy to go, hey, I'm going to hit this guy because it's a laser beam, but it really isn't. It does have a flight path along the same lines of just your basic attack. Now, here at about 11 minutes, we get a pretty good push at this mid tower. Rampage has a green buff, and I'm just trying to take that away from him so he isn't in tower with it. I'm able to rewind him, which really kind of puts him out of position, and they're not able to really get a whole lot of damage on this. Crunch went in, and I probably rewound their Rampage on top of our Crunch, which, you know, that wasn't the best, but luckily he was able to get out. Now, Wraith wants to get this kill. He really wants to secure this kill, and he's chasing. I thought he was going to run away, but he is chasing. Now, I just make sure that, hey, he's not going to get this kill. I realize, hey, I'm not going to be able to catch up to him, and I can't rewind him, so I'm just going to give him a little poke, retreat, head back to my lane, and continue my farm. Now here at 12 minutes, I am already at that 57 creep score, which is, in my opinion, very good for a mid lane hero that, you know, I have been able to rotate and everything like that just because of this, you know, shot that Wraith gets. I am able to pick up these last hits so easily, and I don't have a farm boost like Revenant or like Wukong, but since I am able to get so many last hits, it just works out very well. Now, Crunch comes in for this gank on Belica, and I'm in Viz, so I'm just kind of waiting for her. I rewind her back from her tower, and we're able to secure this kill. 14.5 minutes in, we've made a lot of really good progress on this safe lane. We end up taking their tier 2 down, and we've still got all of our off lane tier 1 up, so we're doing fairly well. Now, they come in for a pretty good push, and since I am building as much power as I am, I'm really able to destroy these Belica drones before we really have a whole lot of, you know, problems with them. And Wraith isn't very mana hungry until you start really rewinding people a whole lot. Now, FaZe ends up blinding all of us, kind of disorienting us. I'm able to use my teleblink, catch up to her, I get this kill, and I end up securing this purple buff. Then me and Decker end up collapsing on this Wraith. Unfortunately, he does get away. I go in Viz to try to keep vision on him, but I know that, you know, as soon as I shoot, I'm not going to be able to see him anymore, so I'm kind of waiting on Decker's stun to get up. Unfortunately, she doesn't get it, and he ends up backing away. Now, I'm here chasing Wraith. He did manage to steal our green buff, but Crunch was just waiting for him in this fog wall, and we get a very easy kill off of him. We did lose our green buff, so that's going to hurt us a little bit, but a kill for a green buff, you know, that's what the green buff's there for, is to secure a kill, and we still managed to do that. Now, we're all grouped up here in mid. We've got their Wraith down, and we're really going to put just a ton of pressure on this mid lane, try to force a team fight, even though we will be under their tower. Maybe we can get a pick. Now, I was trying to rewind somebody, but no one's really up far enough to even be worth it. And their Rampage ends up engaging on us, but I don't believe his team was aware. We get just a really, really easy kill on Rampage. And we're going to just go ahead and break up from here. We got a couple of picks. You know, with all of us being in this mid lane right here, there's really no point in doing what we're doing. We're just kind of wasting time. I use my ult and I say, hey, let's all break up and go push lanes. Now, I did get a death there. I just got collapsed on in mid lane. I really wasn't out of position. I was, you know, pushed up a little far just before the river, but I just really got destroyed from, you know, they had a 3-man gank on me, so nothing I could do there. We ended up doing the same to their Wraith. You know, he was just not going to get away from that. Crunch actually killed him before he rewound. And their Rampage has been making just poor choices on when to engage. You know, he came in, we've got a huge minion wave with us, we've got 4 of us, and it was just a bad time to engage. Now, I use my ult. We end up just going for the tower. I wanted to kind of get that invisibility so the enemy team just really didn't know where we were, didn't know if we were coming for them, so hoping that would back them up a little bit. And it worked exactly like I wanted it to. We would have got that tower regardless, but it kept us a lot safer. Now, here was another death on my part, and I just thought it was a really great job on their Wraith. Now, I used my ult to maybe try to get a kill or something like that. We're really out of position. We've got a couple of people here. Now, I go out of invis to try to bait, but, you know, they're really not taking it. They probably saw Crunch was here, and it turns out, you know, they actually have wards all the way down this mid lane. Now they end up rushing in on me. Wraith rewinds me, and I'm doing my best to get out of here. Now I dip through this fog wall. I kind of jump down through the rafters. I really should have gone around the other way towards off lane, but their Wraith ended up, coming all the way up, and he snatched that kill, which I thought was really good. Now our Wukong is trying to punish him, and I'm telling him, hey man, just let it go, let it go. He got a good kill. That was really good on his part. Once I spawn back in, we're actually able to make our final push and kind of wrap this game up. It was a fairly short game, and we had a really great run. Now, I feel that Wraith is a very good hero if you're in a 5-stack. Or, of course, if you're good with him, you're going to be great with him. But I feel that he's much better utilized in that 5-stack, or maybe even 4 people, where you can really communicate to your team, to your frontliner, make him go invisible, or get a successful gank going. It's very hard to communicate that with just the pings in-game. So playing Wraith as a 5-stack mid lane hero is decent. I also see him being very successful in off lane, but I feel you need a solid tank jungler like a Arrg or something like that, since you're not going to have the lane push like Wukong or Greystone, and you're not going to have the escape, so you're going to have to always be conscious of, hey, you might be ganked, which he does have a kit that allows him vision. But at the same time, you really don't have an escape. You would have to preemptively escape, so you really couldn't put a whole lot of pressure on towers. If you see someone rotating, you're going to have to get out, unlike Greystone or that Wukong. All in all, this was a very great match on, our team's part. I do like the attack power, or attack speed and power build much more than the crit build I tried. The crit build I tried, I do a little more damage, but at the same time, I feel this build, I'm able to do more damage early instead of waiting till that late game to get all the stacks and everything like that and get my crit bonus on. This build allows you to have just a much faster means of damage. Well, if you enjoyed this video, show me some love. Leave me a comment, think about subscribing, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.